we was driving home from Manchester yesterday. We'd been traveling a little bit, me and Kenny, and I was in the back of the car trying to talk to him. I genuinely couldn't actually get my sentences out in the right order, couldn't use the right words. I had to keep stopping and pausing. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. I don't mind it. It's all right. Honestly, I've been doing some weird stuff. Weird stuff. There was shower gel on the side and washing up liquid, and for some reason, I just couldn't fucking get used to which one I needed, and it just ended up mixing them. Loads of shit. I drop stuff all the time. I can't.
I drop shit all the time. And the thing is, you're fucked as well. So then you have to pick it up off the floor. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like bend over now and get it. That's what prep brings though. This is what the people need to know. This is what people don't understand about prepping to a high level and pushing. Thank you for tuning in, guys. This podcast is sponsored by Insight Sups. So for all your supplement needs, head to insightsups.com. They have a massive variety of supplements, so many different brands, giving you an insight into some of the best supplements from around the world, not just in the UK. So if we go to categories now, we can look at whey blends. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite whey proteins, which has Perform Whey. There's so many flavors, a few of them out of stock, but always keep your eye open because they will come back in stock. If you follow Insight Subs on Instagram, you'll be able to also keep updated on when the new stocks come in. So all you have to do, give it a quick click, add it to cart, then check out. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit of a discount here real quick by putting in Physique 10. And by doing that, you can get yourself a little bit of a discount. You can sponsor the podcast, sponsor me as an athlete, and I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the episode. Yo, what's going on? So we got Lewis on today. Now, me and Lewis has got history. I smoked him back in 2000. I smoked him back in 2017. Fired shots all the way through 2018. I was like, because we was going to do British Championships that year, right? In 2018, but they told you were too big for.
Yeah, they just basically told me not to compete.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
The push me into muscular men's physique. Because that was the thing back then.
Like a couple of weeks after, wasn't it? After the whole fiasco of it all and the drama back in the day.
Yeah, that was
people wouldn't even know about that stuff.
So that was the last time you stepped on stage as a men's physique athlete, right?
Yeah. 2000 and was that 2017?
18.
2018. Yeah.
So what was the reason for that switch? Just because they told you were too big, so you was like,
do you know what? Like, it's always one of those things where, to be fair, I always struggle to find board shorts that fit me, mate. Like that was my biggest issue. Like, I'd never really had, especially when back in those times I was natural. I never really had anything going for my physique apart from my legs. Like, so it just kind of made sense. A lot of people have been saying it to me over the years. Various coaches that I'd been with had always kind of said. And then I thought back to the first kind of PCA show that I'd ever done, which originally PCA, when it first started, kind of had like shorter shorts in men's physique. People don't know. It was like 2016. And that's the best that I ever did in that category because the shorts weren't as long.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I kind of need to learn to pose better then. And you need to kind of step it up a notch. And I'll not step it up a notch, but you need to learn a lot from going from men's physique to classic. It's quite a big jump in it.
Yeah.
When you've been doing it for years. So I kind of thought, right, it's time to go through that.
Yeah. I've just done my classic debut this year still.
Yeah, I know.
I've been saying I'm classic for like the last 3 years and it's just never happened.
Yeah, I know.
I think that the biggest thing for me that I had to get used to was just the posing and holding the pose on stage. Like posing conditioning is a lot more than you think. You need to practice posing, holding the poses and transitioning them. Like it's harder than men's physique because you're just front and back.
Learning to breathe differently, learning to kind of knowing I always think, like, especially when I'm shredded or at this point, I pose at about 40% effort. Learning where that marker is so that you can kind of keep it fresh on stage. There's loads of things that like I had to learn. It's crazy.
The adrenaline takes over on stage though, because I tried posing in prep and I'm like,
I think the first time that you do that, it probably does. I think nowadays I've learned to just kind of try your best not to let that rise. Try and just keep as calm as you can. Because I've always found when I've been calmer, when I've not posed as hard, I'm way better, way better. Just because everything's more relaxed, it's more fluent. It's when you're that peeled, and if you're full, you're gonna look just the same anyway, really, aren't you? So
it's just in your head, innit? You tell yourself, I have to try harder.
I need to squeeze more. But at the end of the day, if you tense your glutes at 40%, they've got every line you can see when you're as shredded as you are. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what am I going to gain from it? From absolutely driving them through my hips, just going to knock myself out. The difference.
I had to find that one little thing. It was like, if I put my toe in one certain position when I was on that side chest, put my toe in one certain position, the fibers came through. But
like where to distribute your body weight onto what leg, things like that. Yeah, you have to go through. Luckily, like you can get like help with that, but like posing coaches and stuff helped me quite a lot with all stuff like that over the years.
Yeah, right. What I want to do right now is just bring up your Instagram profile and just kind of go through who you are, just for anyone that doesn't know what you look like. Have a look at your physique. So obviously, like we got these photos. What are these pinned photos here? So what are these 3?
They were the shows that I did last year. So I kind of like to pin them as a reminder of last season. I'm going to try beat that this season. So I'm going to try replace them, hopefully, with better packages, which is a little sad goal of mine. It's just like a little intrinsic goal. But that's from the Two Bros MK last year in July, I believe it was. That's the overall. I won the overall of that.
Got the sword there. The next one. What's the next one from?
That was the British, where I placed second. Niall beat me by a point. He went on to win the pro card. Fair play. You've seen Niall, he's insane.
Yeah,
he's insane.
Crazy.
Couldn't have been beaten by a better guy, to be fair. So, yeah, that was from that show.
And then is this the latest one? What's the most latest one out of those?
This one is a few weeks after the British. I went to Romania to do the Eastern European Amateur Olympia. Placed 4th in that. And that's when I just thought, right, I need an off season.
Yeah. So the only thing I'm seeing here, is I always rinsed you for your delts when we was having them back and forth shots on Instagram back in days. I was like rinsing you for your delts and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's something that you're gonna bring different this year? The size, the cap on the delts, and
I think the issue that
work on.
I think the issue that I had was, I looked good for the first show, or better for the first show, and then obviously as length of time goes through prep, you look on that. I know obviously I get more condition, but with me, there's a line. And kind of pushing below 100 kilo, I kind of lose that top shelf a little bit. So this year, rather than me digging to massively underreach the weight cap, there's not as much need. The prep's been shorter because I was already leaning off season. So we're not going to tire my body out just through fatigue of time through prep, and also we're not going to try to push way beyond that weight cap, because at the end of the day, if we do, we're going to lose more chasing that than what we need to. So obviously I've improved, but a few other things I've not improved absolutely drastically because I can't. The weight cap doesn't allow me to. And to be honest, I haven't had a long enough time off to kind of not be sensible to say that I have. But I think just doing the way that the prep me and Nath are at the minute, I think that's going to be the difference, to be fair.
So the difference is not even that you got more muscle, you're just trying to retain as much fullness as possible.
I'd say I've probably got slightly more for sure, but I would also say that the difference is, in the execution of the prep.
Yeah. But that people underestimate that can be massive. It might not even be about
finding what works for you, bro, innit?
As much muscle as possible. It's just about making everything pop the right way. If the prep goes right and body stays fresh and muscle stays fresh, you can come with a totally different look. What did you think your weaknesses was coming in, out of those shows?
My posterior, mate. My feedback from the judges was, to be fair, my feedback was really good. I was really appreciative. It was the judge told me that from the finals, you have a pro physique. He said you will turn pro. It's inevitable. He said you just need to be at the right show. He said if I'm going to pick you apart, go off and bring you back up a little bit. So that's what we did.
Have you got any back shots on here? Any straight? Oh, there we go.
Yeah. It's a video. I have got some, or maybe put check-in shots on sometimes. I put one on my story, I think, today on my check-in. I put on post-workout just on my story, to be fair. Today. Didn't think about It's the last thing I just posted on my story.
Oh, the recent.
Yeah, the latest thing. That's
You
what my
just trying
back's
now, yeah. You got a pump for the podcast, yeah. He was like,
Nah, not now. Fuck.
All right, cool. Can I hold this? There, I think I'm holding it there. Yeah, yeah. The glutes are in. Glutes are in. Everything's looking full. Everything's popping. So, how much are you away from the weight cap now? What are you? Is it 3 weeks?
At my lowest that we've been at, like sucking down and seeing what we can get to, is 101.3 kilo, which is 1.3 kilo off the cap. So that's is what it is. Nothing really, is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can get that off. So that's yeah. It's a good physique, man. What's next after? So you're doing the regional first.
So I've got three. It'll be just about 3 weeks tomorrow. Is the hard body classic. That's the regional. I have to do this year. And then 2 weeks after that is Big Man Weekend in Spain, in Benidorm.
Yeah.
So Nathan wants to put me in that.
And then where after that is just the two that you planned. You reckon you can smash out?
We're gonna just plan for that.
Well, yeah, that's it, man. That's it, right? Let's stop this share. Let's go a little bit more into like the past now, like talking about why you even started bodybuilding in the first place.
For me, it's my brother. My eldest brother is in the military. He's in the Marines. So like he was a bit of a role model for me when I was growing up. I have two older brothers, and he was like the eldest brother. So like when you're the youngest, you kind of always naturally look up to that figure. So when I turned 16, obviously him being in the Marines, he took me to the gym. I mean, he was pretty harsh. He made me run there and shit, and did some pretty horrible stuff to me. But he pretty much taught me what hard work was in the gym there and then when I was 16. So from that, I just developed a bit of an addiction to it. I had a bit of addictive personality anyway, and that kind of captured me straight away, like intensely. I found myself looking at videos all the time, researching constantly, like not really like I had anything else before, to be fair. Then I started working in gyms, doing my qualifications, getting my PT stuff, helping other people, just getting more into it. And then I was 18 when someone said, look, you've got a reasonable physique. And that was just through me, like learning through YouTube videos. I didn't have Instagram or anything like that, but I was just reading every, like forum that you could. Back at the time, there wasn't these apps. You used to read it all on forums. So
it's so easy to get information now, isn't it, compared to back in the days?
Yeah. So you used to have to like go on these forums, look through bits of information, see what people had said about different things I tried with nutrition and training, and try and pick bits up from there. And then when I was 18, I just thought, right, when someone said try a show, there was someone who worked in my gym that was doing a prep, and I thought, I reckon I could do that like quite easily. I do that anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like I pretty much am as disciplined by myself as these people are anyway. I train 5 days a week. I eat all the meals that I think that I'm going to eat. So I went on Facebook at the time and just looked for any kind of coach that I could. I ended up coincidentally somehow finding Jamie DeRigo. Like I didn't have Instagram, but I didn't know who he was at the time. So I didn't exactly know that I was coached by a good coach or someone that was known or anything like that. And we just went through Facebook Messenger, and I bought a 12-week prep thing off him. And he prepped me for 12 weeks and he put me on stage for PCA. And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Like no idea. I just followed what he sent me on these messages every week. Like that was it. Got to the show, didn't know anything. Like it was just like a weird experience for me. Got on stage, winged the posing. I practiced on YouTube, came second. It wasn't even like junior either. I was like just turned 19. It wasn't junior.
Yeah.
Because they don't know if they did that back in the time. So I was against adults, probably people assisted as well. I had no idea what I was doing. Played second and thought that was absolutely class. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I enjoyed the whole thing. Like the whole process was mint. That was class. I want to do that again. So
was it a hard prep? Did you feel like it was a tough prep being your first prep?
It was really hard. Like I found that it was super challenging, but I really found straight away, like I thrived off that quite early. Like it was absolutely awful, but I didn't cheat on my diet. I did all of my cardio. I did everything he told me to do. I got a bit of a buzz when I checked in with him, and he was like commending what I'd done and things. That for me was quite a big achievement every single week. So that's what kind of spurred me on every week. And I didn't find it easy, but it's what I just suddenly found that I enjoyed. Do you know what I mean?
So how old are you now?
27.
27. So Olympia by what, 28? You aiming for the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Is that the goal?
Yeah. I'm going to try. If we can do what we want to do this year, I am seriously going to push everything I can into doing that in the next 2 years. I really, really am. With that extra weight that give me, what I want to do with that on my physique and what me and Nath are planning to do, we seriously think that, I'm not saying I'm going to eventually win all these big shows and things like that, but I think if I work my ass off and keep on the trajectory that I'm on, I stand just as good a chance as anybody, do you know?
Yeah, I've always said one of my goals is just touch the stage, touch the Olympia stage.
You know what I mean? I see my life hack as like I don't quit and I will keep working at it. Like I've not turned pro yet. Yeah, that's fine. But I've got ever so closer constantly. And now I've got the point last year where I was literally 1 point away. So, that kind of tells me that just keep going away and working hard again.
But that's the thing with bodybuilding. We've got to remember we're young. We look at a lot of these bodybuilders, like we see some crazy freaks, doing really well, like in the 20s and stuff. But when you think about it, the muscle maturity and all that kind of stuff can come to play in like your 30s. Like you're not even at your peak yet.
So I don't believe I'm anywhere near my peak. I honestly believe that, like, especially with the mentality that I've discovered this prep and how much I'm loving it this year, I think if I stay on this level, I really think that's gonna help my physique as well.
Yeah. So in terms of just life and everything in prep, what have you found the toughest thing? Like not even just through this prep, through the years, in terms of like support and relationships
it's been a family life thing for me. Like a lot of people don't know this about me, but obviously, like we have a kid, so I've got a 9-year-old that I need to think about in prep, still be energetic for, still make time for, still balance. That is the utmost hardest thing, is the guilt and the because I'm not gonna lie, I won't bullshit. Obviously, right at now when I'm 3 weeks out, I am not as energetic as I'd like to be. That is the hardest part for me. When you've kind of got that as well, I think it makes every other part quite easy. It makes the diet seem like, well, it's just a diet. It makes the cardio seem like that as well, when that you've got more priorities, So I think that is a bit harder for me. And also that comes alongside that as well, the guilt with the finances from chasing that, because you'll know yourself, even for you, being on your own at the moment, I imagine, but it's expensive as hell, innit? It's ridiculous what we have to do to chase our afford. It's crazy. You'll know that. It's obscene. You don't realize until you go and do it how much it is. And when you're spending all that money, it's a bit like, because you've got to work to earn it, and then that becomes hard. Because then
the work becomes hard, and
so it's just that balance, mate. Again, it just all comes back to that. I am a lot better at it. I am good at it. I'd say nowadays I'm very good at it. But that, especially at the first few years, especially as I got to higher standards of competing, it required more dedication and more commitment all year round. That's the harder part, but you can do it for sure.
Yeah. It just takes scheduling, and you've got to schedule in
experience, practice, a bit more pre-planning and thinking. Just generally being a more nice person in general, that helps.
So the support system and stuff that you've got at the moment, everything's just clicking, because I think that's so important for the support system, because I've been in relationships in the past that just haven't been right for bodybuilding, and I think that's super important, that obviously you've been supported when you're feeling like this, because I can see right now you're drained. You can tell you're 3 weeks out. Do you know what I mean? You can tell you 3 weeks out, because I was exactly like you, probably about six weeks ago, and I was just doing prep alone, and prep.
Not alone. Even that. Like, to be fair, I've got a lot of the boys with me as well. Like, I've got a really good network here where I am at the minute. There's a few of us doing the same thing. Me and Kenny are both prepping together. Kenny.
Yeah.
I see Kenny every day. I train with Kenny every day. We travel everywhere together when we go see like Cuba or Nath. So we are literally doing it together. We send each other our check-ins. We keep each other on point. Everything's running smooth, mate. It's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, you've got that whole supportive life at home, whole supportive life at the gym.
Completely different to last year, like the circle that I've got, and that difference, you'll have felt that. You've seen you and Hayder, man, like that is what everyone wants, you know? And that's kind of, I've got my own version of that here. You know how important that is. That's another reason why prep's been so much more enjoyable. I look probably so much better. So, yeah.
How are you feeling right now in terms of your diet and stuff? You feeling hungry?
No problem, mate. No, I don't really care about stuff like that. I haven't this prep. Like, it's been smooth, mate. The food's got lowish. I don't tend to look at what I'm on. I just tend to look at the meals that Nath gives me. It's easier nowadays. But we've had no carb meals and low on fats, and we've been doing 40 minutes of Stairmaster and 15k steps a day. That kind of vibe. That's fine. I don't mind all that. That's not the issue. It's manageable. You find. I think with you, maybe this year, you're the same. The more you do it, the more you get in your rhythm. And that just becomes very natural. And you kind of know, I'll fast for a little bit longer. I'll drink loads of water. I've just had a peppermint tea. That helps. Like, I'm never hungry. I appreciate all these things. So it's like.
Hunger's not a massive thing for me on prep. It's more the fatigue. Are you dealing with fatigue good?
Yeah, I'd say, do you know, the only thing that me and Nate had a chat about this today, to be fair, the only thing that I've been struggling with, mate, is, and I think it's because of the rate of loss that we had. I'll tell you about this prep in a minute. It's been wild. I don't know if you've seen it, but yeah, it's not been the fatigue. I don't mind that. I weirdly like it, mate. You know, when you're in that little bubble and you're just like, nothing really matters to you.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm really productive. I get up at 4 a.m. because I can't sleep, and I do loads.
I'm still up at 4 a.m. now. It's 3 weeks post show.
And you know how that feels, right? It feels good.
Yeah,
you kind of miss that when it's gone, don't you? You do. You miss it when it's gone. So I appreciate that, bro. But the only problem is that I've got is my brain fog this year is absolutely like awful, like seriously appallingly bad. Like after about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm usually fried on my ass. Can't even like.
People don't understand that. I'm exactly the same. I would absolutely. It gets to midday, I finish my session and I'm done. As soon as I'm out of the gym and I'm home.
Yeah, mate, I'm the same. We was driving home yesterday. We was driving home from Manchester yesterday. We'd been traveling a little bit, me and Kenny, and I was in the back of the car trying to talk to him. I genuinely couldn't actually get my sentences out in the right order. Couldn't use the right words. I had to keep stopping and pausing. It's ridiculous, but it's funny. I don't mind it. It's all right.
Yeah. It's just like you can't remember shit at times. You just get
like honestly, I've been doing some weird stuff.
That's what prep brings, though. This is what the people need to know. This is what people don't understand about prepping to a high level and pushing to super low levels.
Yeah, I washed up with some shower gel yesterday.
Did you?
There was shower gel on the side and washing up liquid, and for some reason I just couldn't fucking get used to which one I needed, and it just ended up mixing them.
Trying to think if I did anything with it.
Loads of shit. I drop stuff all the time. I can't.
I drop shit all the time.
It's weird. Like it's
your
funny.
Hand just goes like this. It just releases, and you drop them on the floor. And you're like, fuck. And the thing is, you fucked as well. So then you have to pick it up off the floor. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to like bend over now and get it. And that's one of the hardest things as well. Yeah, I think once I was like looking in the mirror and I shit myself. I looked in the mirror and went, and I was like, that's myself. Like I got scared at myself. I didn't even know who it was. I thought it was someone else. Like that's where your mind can take you in prep. Like
mad, innit? It's crazy. I like it though. I like it.
Yeah, you can get in such a dungeon. I was just coming back. I sit and watch put Harry Potter on, and
can't even at the minute. My attention span's so low. Find it's easier to listen to things. So I've just been listening to books, podcasts, ebooks most nights instead, because that's just relaxing. My concentration's shite.
Well, that's what I do. I don't put Harry Potter on or whatever to watch it. I do it for the sounds, because the sounds comfort me. It's something that, like the magical sounds. All this, and then it just comforts me in prep. That's stories. Not about. I got this Harry Potter tattoo because that prep, I was just in the graft and I was watching Harry Potter all day. I'd go through all like 7 of them every single day. So at the end of the prep, I got a Harry Potter.
He's a wizard, bro. He is a wizard. He can do some mad shit.
It's weird though. It's weird, but we love it. We love it. So what's next, like with coaching and stuff like that? Because obviously you're building your coaching company. Is that going all right?
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, it is like crazy. If I think about what I've done with it in the last like year and a half and how that's going and the group of people that I get to work with. 1 second, my dog's being weird. Cookie, oi, shut up. There you go. So yeah, the people that I work with, the lads, the girls, they're all absolutely class. The results that we're now getting, like last weekend, just had a guy in natural federations in the UK DFBA. He won the world title, qualified as a pro, qualified for the Olympia. You know, I'm getting these experiences now, these higher level experiences. Turned to go pro last year. Like we've won a few shows already this year on the team. I didn't actually think when I started that I would be able to help, because that was one of the sides that I loved about when I told you with me and Jamie when I first started, was that buzz of working with somebody. I got that with him straight away. So now to be doing that myself and to be doing it with a good standard guys and girls that actually trust me, it's mint. You'll know what that's like. It's so nice. I've got my own little bubble, my own circle, my own team. You know, I'm not like these huge coaches, the big ones, and that's fine by me because I don't want that many clients. I have a cap on mine. I don't want to do that. I work very differently and closely with my guys. But what I am doing at the minute with it is so fun, mate. I love it. It ties in so well with everything that I'm doing. Like I get up every morning, I'm out on the morning walks, I'm talking to all the boys, all the girls, we're having chats, we're going through our days together. You know, we're joining up on the weekends and meeting up and helping push each other. Like this is the kind of community that we're building as well through coaching. So it's like it all helps. You've got as well that with your team as well. You see it all over Instagram. It's
community, massive. I think
so good.
But it's hard to try and you can fall into the wrong side of coaching. I almost fell out of love with it. I think every coach has fallen in and out of love with it until they find that kind of sweet spot of how they like work.
Hold on, I'll be back. Oh, yeah.
You can fall into the wrong side of coaching. I've fallen out of love with it before, like back in the days and all that kind of stuff, just because it becomes too much of a job or too much of an income. Do you know what I mean? Rather than actually loving it and enjoying it for the coaching, rather than just for the financial aspects of it.
That's all that I do now, though. That is how it should be. Like how I've always
have
done
fun with it every single day, and then just don't treat it like a job.
You know what? You realize, don't you, as well, when you get to this point, like as long as you just look after and work really well and enjoy what you do with your guys and girls, and then you enjoy your own training, that's going to grow on its own anyway. Don't worry about that. Just keep working on this. And that's how I've enjoyed everything so much recently, is because that's all that's happening.
So if we was to say anything to like the new guys getting into coaching, just enjoy it.
And make sure you do, and be that the reason first. Like work with people first before you work on your actual Instagram. Do you know what I mean? Just because you're a coach, you're working with people. You should be a people person. You shouldn't be a marketer. And that is the difference. And that's when you're gonna struggle to enjoy your job if you're a good marketer. Because I tell you now, when you get all these clients in and you've got like even like 40, 50, 60 people checking in with you, and you've got to be on the money and polite and nice and energetic and keep them on form, and you've got to provide them with a service, they ain't going to be able to do that. So, you know, doing it our way, bro, it works better.
100%. And you've got to walk the walk as well. I think guys like us, we walk the walk.
A
lot of coaches just don't walk the walk. I don't even know how they have clients, because I don't know how you can like look at someone who doesn't, you're wanting to be a bodybuilder, and you're looking at your coach, and your coach is like putting pictures up out on it's like, Bro, what you doing going to all these festivals and stuff, and I'm here grafting? Like, I'm not gonna want to listen to you, man. Like, how can I
I
listen
just,
to you?
the way I see it is, if I work my ass off, then there's nothing that I can't ask somebody to do, because I've done it and I will do it myself.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. If you've done it, you understand how it feels as well. The
And
same as
that's why, that's how you pick the coaches you do. Look at Hader.
mm, been relentless for years, pushing for his pro
Yeah,
card
man.
for years. Then he finally got it. It's just about
Exactly.
being relentless with
That's
it.
one of the reasons why he's such a good coach, because of that. And like, you need to have that.
Yeah. So let's go to like young guys who want to get into bodybuilding. What is the main thing that you'd say to them? If you'd say like a younger version of yourself, if you could say something to the younger version of yourself getting into this, things to
I would
worry
say,
about,
I,
look
I would, do you know
out
what?
for.
For my, I would say, especially for the first few years, I would say apply more effort all the time. I was great in preps, but admittedly crap in off seasons. I could have sped up my progress 5 times if I'd have just bloody knuckled down and not been a tool sometimes. But um, aside from that, I think I did everything kind of at the right time. I stayed natural and tried natural for long enough.
Yeah.
I competed for 4 years naturally. I was training for 6 naturally. Like, it wasn't like a rash decision.
Yeah.
I've I've had the opportunity to work with some great people. I like the fact that I've done that, because it's expanded my knowledge. I've met great people. So it'd just be take your time, which is what I did. Don't expect too much too quick, and just get used to the process and enjoy that, because ultimately that at the end of the day does become down to all that matters. When you get to this point, and especially when you have to grit and grind and these points, it's like, just make sure you definitely enjoy it and take that time, because eventually you will just naturally get to where you want to be then.
Yeah. Bodybuilding's a longevity game. The longer that you can be in it, the better you're gonna be. Like there's some guys speaking with Yemi on the other podcast. He was saying like there's guys that just they've looked crazy, and people, everyone gives them hype, but then they disappear in a few years because they can't hold their own. They can't.
They
They
ain't got
don't
the
love
grit,
it.
mate. They ain't got the
Yeah, they
long
don't
term
love it
grit.
enough.
Just stick it out.
Yeah, it's a game of consistency over a long period of time and smart play in terms of health.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we can't underestimate health. Is that something that you really put priority on? Do you get your bloods done and all that kind of stuff?
yeah. Luckily, I've always worked with responsible coaches, so that's always helped. I've never ever really been told to take anything stupid or
Yeah,
much, or I've never really. I've always had coaches that have kept an eye on me as well and helped me with that, especially in the earlier days, and advised, telling me when's good times to get my blood done, because I've always been good at following instructions. Never been overboard. My first cycle was minimal, 200 tests a week, and I didn't do anything more than that for the first year.
yeah.
So nothing through me. Even what I take now, I still don't take over 300.
Yeah, neither do I was speaking to someone yesterday in my DMs, and he was like, I'm doing my first cycle. This guy at the gym, he said, do 1 mil a week. And I was like, well, how many milligrams is that? He's like, oh, it's 300. And no. He said, do 2 mil a week. Yeah, he said, do 2 mil a week. So that's 500 milligrams. And I'm like, where is your first cycle, bro? What are you doing? Who's telling you to do this? And he's like, oh, this guy, I've just thought he's been on a gear for a while. So I thought I'd just ask him. And he said 250. He said 250 would do nothing for
Yeah,
me in a
exactly.
week. And I'm like, bro, look at me. Yeah, I do 300. Why are you even going to be bothering doing more than me? Like, just be careful who you get your knowledge from in it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm still at 300, and then we just utilize we spread the
I
love
think
out.
I was lucky, because when I made that decision, I was working with a coach. So, like most of the people that you hear that like abuse PEDs, the people that like hear it from somebody else in a gym.
Yeah,
And it's like, that guy over there is massive, told me to take that. And all right, I'll stick and take that. But because when you're working with a coach, especially if they're responsible, they're going to get your blood checked first. They're going to look at what they need to put you on. They're going to actually get that right for you. So because I did it like that, I wasn't introduced to it in like the wrong kind of way. I think that was quite important from the start.
yeah, yeah. I think it's always good to vet your coaches. So, if you had you've had no bad coaches at all, no bad experiences with coaches.
I've had bad experiences with coaches for sure. Things that I've disagreed with. I'm sure everybody has, but
Yeah.
that's a matter of opinion.
Mm.
But I wouldn't say any experience has been a bad one overall, because it's all been kind of a sticking point of my progress.
Yeah.
So I've had a few, but I wouldn't say any of them have been bad at all, mate. I said they've all been really good, especially at the time that I needed them. At that point in where I was, they were definitely probably the right person for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's look at you said you had a crazy rate of drop, didn't you? Do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
So we've taken off just just over 10 kilo, 11 kilo in 45 days.
Okay, so how much does that work out? It's like over weeks. What?
Can you work that out?
Oh yeah. You're 3 weeks out. I'm asking you to do this maths. I don't even have a clue. I mean, not even in off season, but yeah, I'm not.
No, it's like
45 days is a month, so we're looking at
7 weeks. I'm gonna have to go inside on it.
Go.
Get some head trimming going on. I'm sitting outside in the sun because it's been nice weather in the UK, which is helping my skin for the show, getting a tan.
That pre-tan tan.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, what were you saying?
Rate drop.
Yeah, so it's like like 24 pounds maybe?
24 pounds
Yeah, I'd say so.
over 40 days.
But yeah.
How have you found that mentally dropping?
Fine, mate. It's been good fun. It's just been tiring. Like I say, the only issue has been the brain fog, mate.
Yeah.
It's literally been it. But aside from that, like everything else, it's been fine. Like, not a problem. Yeah, everything's been fine. Energy's obviously been low. That's a given. If you're gonna do a prep like this, if you're gonna push hard, like if you're doing 40 minutes on the stairs and you're doing 15k steps, you're gonna be knackered.
Yeah.
Especially at my body weight.
Have you gone over 40 minutes, or is 40 minutes the highest you've gone?
That was the most we had to get to. Because we obviously was utilising more steps, and we was using food a bit more rather than digging me into the floor with like more Stairmaster at that point. If I'm already doing 15k steps, I'm already doing like 40 minute Stairmaster. We weren't needing to do more than that. So we just kind of started lowering food a bit, pulling a bit of carbs away, increasing the rate of loss a little bit as we needed to. We pushed quite hard out the gate at the start of the prep just to make sure that we caught back up with time, because I had decided to do the show. The first one was 7 weeks out from the first one.
Yeah.
So when I jumped into it, I was reasonably lean anyway, but I was quite a way above the weight cap. So we just knew, right, let's just dig in, pull a chunk off, get closer.
Yeah. Those graph stages are hard. I prefer doing graph stages earlier on and then trying to fill up into the end. I think I'm
in a little bit of one at the minute. But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Good. How's your training going though? Is it training?
Sick, mate. I train with Kenny every day.
Yeah, so he's not letting it drop at all.
Nah, man. He's on me. I'm on him. That's the deal we've got.
How many weeks out is Kenny?
Oh, like 11.
11 weeks out. So he's
quite a way away, bro.
Yeah.
So
because I remember you saw me in Ultraflex. I think I don't know how many weeks out I was, but I was.
Yeah.
I don't know. Must have been 2-3 weeks out. And I was absolutely finished. I was I don't talk to no one. I don't chat to no one. I don't even think I can train with people when I'm that many weeks out. Do you conversate with him, or does he just literally?
It's one of those things, like he knows. He'll trust me. He knows me that well now. We spend that much time together, mate. That he can see it on my face. He knows when it's a day when it's like, or if it's a day where we can get away with it. You just know how it goes. When you train with someone every day, you kind of get those feels, don't you? You know how you bounce off each other. He can see on the days that I'm not. But the same shit goes down regardless, mate, doesn't it? It doesn't matter. You know you're there to do a job. You've got that. Well, you're helping each other out. You've got that respect for each other, especially with me and him. So it's like, he canes me every session. He makes sure that whatever Nath tells me to do, I pretty much relay that back to him at the minute. And then he makes sure for the day that if it's something required within training, some posing, whatever, he makes sure that also gets done for me. Same vice versa if Cooper gives him something. I make sure that gets done absolutely spot on for him. Makes it much smoother.
Yeah, it sounds like a sick relationship that you got going on there. It just makes every day easier. So when you got
Definitely, mate.
a training partner like that, when you got a training partner that's just as locked in as you, and I think that makes just the whole experience better in terms of being able to push through. Because sometimes I get to 20, 30 minutes into my session, I'm like, I just need to get home. And if you've got someone there telling you now, you're not getting.
And if I've got to keep an eye on him, I've got a responsibility. Can't really be letting the team down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense, man. Right, I can tell you're tired, man. I feel like you're all right.
I'm fine, bro. Don't you worry. I can do this all day. The breeze, mate.
Is there anything in particular that you want to cover about your journey? You want to tell people about your journey?
If you want to watch it, I am putting it all on YouTube. It's not something I've done before, mate. Like, I didn't even have social media when I started bodybuilding, so I had to build an Instagram and stuff just to run a business and to do all of this. So I'm trying on the YouTube side of things. I've got Gaz coming with me. He's filming me gathering every single fucking day, a week.
Yeah.
My brain's gone, mate. Need 1 minute. This is a reality.
Catch up. It's
right. So Big G, he's filming me once a week, and we put it on YouTube every single Friday or Saturday, depending on length of the video and when we filmed it or whatever, or what day it's falling on. So at the back end of every week, we're putting a video on. If you want to watch my prep, feel free. It's on my Instagram.
So have you been doing that every single week for?
Man. The episode 5 comes out tonight.
You what? Episode
5 comes out tonight. It's backdated 2 weeks, so this is 5 weeks out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's sick, man. That's sick. I mean, I was speaking on the last podcast with Yemi about how social media is so much, and a lot of bodybuilders they want to think they're fucking Dorian Yates when no one actually cares. It's like, oh, I'm going into the trenches, no one can see me. The shadow. It's like, bro, no one cares in the first place anyway. Like, you're already in the shadows. Why are you trying to hide?
Like, if this happens, I get to look back on that, and I get every moment from that, and that's a massive thing when you put this much effort in it.
Yeah, I look back at photos,
and if anyone wants to watch it, like, they can. But for me, it doesn't really matter that much. Like, it's a great experience. I'm loving this.
Yeah, that's sick, man. You seem fully locked in, but the whole like growth of the last 10 years, man, you've done sick working on
going at my own pace, mate. That is all it literally is. Like, working on my own pace in my own little bubble and just climbing my own little ladder. Like, that's all it's had to be the whole time. It's not been anything rushed. It's just been an accumulation of time for me. Yeah, I've not like come out of the woodwork and suddenly shocked a load of people. I've just steadily got better.
Yeah. Because you've been tapped in for so long. Like we said, it's a game of longevity, and
mate, it is for sure, bro.
Day after day. So, trying to think of anything else that we can run over here in terms of. I think we'll have to come back and talk after your show about.
Yeah, see, if hopefully, if I've got a good update, that'll be absolutely class. Yeah. A, I won't like shit, and B, listen, I'm not afraid to say it. I do look like shit at the minute, and I'm embracing it. I'm happy about it. It's a good thing. You know how that is. It's me.
Yeah.
Every bodybuilder that knows what this stage is like, they'll be like, yeah, fair. That's a good place to be in.
Yeah. If he's feeling like this, if he's getting the brain fog when
I've got that passing gone, we'll jump on. Hopefully, you've got some good news. But regardless, it'll be a good story to tell, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a good few of us going out to Spain for this one, so it's going to be good. There's like me, Nath, Phoebe's come in, Kenny's obviously come in. I think Jimmy Tonk and Louis Rhino.
Yeah,
he might be coming as well, doing the same show. So there might be a bit of a group out there, which is nice. So it should be good. Going to try and capture it.
Yeah. And then jump on we'll get a podcast after, and hopefully you got a pro card. Right.
Yeah, I'm always down in Leeds at the minute, though. Anyway, in the new Ultra, I've been down there a few times, so I'll probably see you again.
Yeah. 100%. I can
Mate,
smash you through a session. I don't know if you'll
I
survive
need
it.
to man up. I tried to get in the fucking ice bath, and man, I'm a pussy.
Oh yeah, it's scary, isn't it? I'm there
Why
screaming.
is that
Can't
such a
even
big
get in it.
deal?
I'm
Like,
there like,
people make it look easy, and then I go and try and do it, and I feel like a little boy.
yeah, no, you got to grit yourself. You got to just do it. I think longest I stayed in was 5 minutes. I stayed in for that was the longest 5 minutes ever because you sat there and you're just like
5 minutes, man. That's ridiculous.
But I just felt like I had to just to keep up with fatigue on like my legs mainly,
Yeah.
knees and stuff like that. It helped massively with my knees, I think.
Sure.
Because as soon the following day, my knees were a lot better after doing the out.
Yeah.
Little
Sweet.
things I think when you're at the level like us where we really want to like turn pro, it's about doing that 1% more.
Oh, mate, every little thing. That's the difference as well with this prep. Every little thing matters. Everything. Like there isn't if you can be as accurate as you can be, then do it because it's gonna make a difference. That's the way I've seen it. Like if there's any tiny part of anything you can improve, your routine, your sleep, your diet, any part of that, your digestion, even the food sources you're using or the meal timings that you're having or the fluid that you're having at certain points of the day, whatever that tiny minuscule thing might be, I've learned this year, try and improve it.
Yeah.
Just try to improve it because if you do and you get it better, your physique will if you do all these things like that and have that attitude, it's an accumulation, isn't it, of 1%ers.
1%. I've said that to I said that to clients before. They're like, "Oh, I'm fatigued, this and that," and I'm like, "Well, it's not a case of like, right, you're fatigued. Let's pull back. Let's give you a refeed or let's pull back the cardio. It's a case of, okay, are you doing this 1% stuff?
Yeah, like what?
You're
Let's
not,
look at the
then
nitty
do
gritty
that,
details.
and then tell me you're fatigued. If you're still
I
fatigued,
always say to my clients, like, look,
1%.
the best thing to do in a prep is make sure that we're always reading between the lines.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's all good saying the lines are the nutrition, the cardio, the PEDs, you know, the training split. But in between all these lines, there are so many others. Do you know what I mean? There's hydration, supplementation, there's recovery, there's just everything that you can think of. So make sure you read between the lines.
Yeah. Do that 1%, and then you can complain that you're fatigued, and we might give you a little bit of a
Yeah, but you know what? I'm that, and you might be the same. To be fair, I'm that guy, and Nate's found that this year. Penny has to kind of tell me when I'm fatigued, and then Nate has to kind of pick up on that. So then it's like, right, how do you feel? No, I feel all right. No, how do you really feel? Well, I nearly passed out yesterday. Right, so you don't feel all right then, do you? Well, to me, all right, yeah, different.
Big graft. Everyone's got the fucking boundaries, don't they? Everyone has the boundaries. But now, man, it's been great to hear the insight, and thanks for giving me the time. To be fair,
Mate, 3 weeks the first one, and I'm also not going to do that bullshit and say I'm just going to turn up to the first one and see what happens. I am going to try and win it. I wouldn't do a show if I wasn't going to try to at least win it. Who enters a show not to? Like, you're going to try regardless. You've got to try, man. So I am going to try and actually do, like, I'm not just going to enter a regional and not bring my best. I'm going to try and look really good. I'm going to make sure that I look really good. Like, for 3 weeks.
Two overalls this year. That's what
mate, why would you not want to just achieve that as well? Like, be your best you can be. That's what.
Because people don't have it up here. People don't have it. People can't take a loss. Some people can't take a loss, so they'll tell themselves something lesser. So
that just frustrates me because you're more commendable to me if you aim for something and then take a fall back and say, I wasn't quite good enough, like I always do. Like, people just respect that and go, that's fair. And then if you try it again, then you get the opportunity to go again. Rather than just, saying, well, I didn't really try for that one anyway. Like, what's the point then? Because it's embarrassing for everyone else. Because tell you what, I am trying.
Yeah. All right, man. So pro card incoming, regional win incoming, and we'll talk to you after the show.
If it happens though, bro, then we're not going to get that classic battle until you win yours. So you need to.
Yeah, I need to up my game. I'm still way behind. That's something I'm working on. I just need to find.
Now you'll catch back up, bro. You're on the catch up. I can see it.
Yeah, I've never been able to solidify an off season.
You've got Hayden now, bro.
Yeah. Hopefully this is the year I can solidify.
Excited to see it, mate. I honestly am. It's going to be class. I watched all your prep. I always keep up to date with what you're up to, mate. I always keep an eyes out.
Love, man. Love. I had the delt issue that I still need to get sorted. Did you see all that as well?
I know, mate. I was watching. I just keep an eye out, see how you're getting on. I'm interested, when there's people like you that have been doing it ages,
Yeah.
Like people don't know this. This we didn't actually tell people. You know that you came third, didn't you, at the finals?
Yeah.
I think I came 11th.
11th. No, did you come 11th?
I think so.
Yeah, that was decent. There was like 40 guys, weren't there, or something?
33.
I don't know how I came third because I looked
Zach Ainsley came last.
Instagram bodybuilders. But yeah, I don't even think I deserve third in that. I don't even know how I made top 10. I think
Hey, listen, I saw the trophy that you had walking around outside McDonald's afterwards in Nottingham Centre. It didn't really matter, did it?
I was gassed though, but I don't feel like I don't know how I got third. I was
All
still
that time ago.
It is what it is what it is. We're classic guys
Coming
now.
again, mate. It's got to come again.
We'll see. But yeah, man, that was Lewis Widgery. We're gonna get a pro card and we're gonna get a regional win. We're not no second places this year.
We're going for it, brother.
Bro. So yeah, man. Keep in tune and we will talk to you after the show. After which one is it? What's it
Harmony
called?
Classic. Zubro's Harmony Classic.
The pro card show.
Big Man Weekend in Spain.
After Big Man Weekend, yeah. We'll speak to you after Big Man Weekend, where you'll have a pro card in the background, man.
The pressures, we love it. Let's go.
All right.